Nah, I'm pretty good. Honestly, I feel like if I had to make weight, and by the end of the day, I can make weight.
By the end of the day?
I think so. I like to believe so. I like to believe so. I don't want to say nothing crazy like that and then mess around and miss weight or nothing like that, but, I feel like I can make weight.
And in camp, your energy level was high the whole time?
Yeah, my energy level's been high. One thing I did do is that I could have trained at a higher weight, and I almost wanted to just because sometimes I sparring with AJ, and he was like 245, maybe 250, just a massive human being. And I could have used it for the bumps, but I didn't want to get used to moving and moving at my best at a higher weight. So I kept it pretty low and kept around the weight that I want to step into the cage at. And, so I should feel like how I felt in training because I prepared my body for it.
You've probably been asked this a bunch, as this cut's been coming up, but do you almost feel like you wish you would have done it sooner? Do you feel like you should have been a 185er earlier in your career?
Yeah, I wish I did do it sooner, but pride is something that is a monster to overcome in itself. I can admit that my pride kept me from dropping to 185. I didn't want to be in a situation like I am in now. Losing 2 fights and then going down because it's like I feel like I feel like I got ran out of the weight class. And that was something that I never wanted. So I was going to at least get one win and then drop down, but I was like, what, like, just let it go, man. Let it go. These guys are big, and there's no sense of wasting more time trying to compete at a division where you don't see yourself competing at in the long term. So I just chalked it up and just set my sights and focused for 185.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.
Obviously, this is the first fight, but in training, how has it felt compared to competing at 205? What's the biggest difference for you?
The biggest difference, I would say, from training at 205 and training at 185 is I feel like I have a lot more energy at 185, and that sounds weird because you would think that with losing more weight I'll be more depleted of energy, but it's actually had the opposite effect on me. I had a cleaner diet, so I'm fueled better, and I'm faster, and I'm moving better, and just the way my body has responded to being at 185, it felt like taking all the extra weight off my joints and my muscles and stuff like that, it's made my body feel so fresh. I feel like I did back when I first way started in college.
You've obviously been on the Fox desk with the whole saga of GSP. Leading up to this point, I mean, for you, you're kind of in a similar situation because you're a legend of the sport, coming back now that maybe the new era fans aren't familiar with. Do you feel that at all, or do you feel like people still know who Rashad Evans is?
Yeah, I mean some know who I am, but I can honestly say I really don't think about it. I really don't think about these guys don't know who I am, because I had that sting already happen to me, like them really not knowing when I was out of the sport for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So now I just been kind of it is what it is. Now I've become accustomed to the way it is now. But I would say at first, when I first felt the sting of just being irrelevant, it hurt a bit. Especially since I was like, oh man, I'm still me. But if you're not competing, and the way that UFC has the shows nowadays, there's so many shows. If you're not fighting, every 6 months, then you're not relevant real fast. So.